Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. A Shabbat Eve meditation. We are here together as one people, one community. We've joined to share in this treasured moment together. We're invited to leave the week behind, let go of what has been, let go of what will be, and enter a place of stillness, a sacred space and time. As the sun begins to set, breathe in the glow of the sunset and pause. Breathe out the stresses of the week. Breathe in the calm of nightfall and pause. Breathe out and feel a sense of release. Breathe in the radiance of the moon and stars and pause. Breathe out all thoughts of doing and become one with this present moment. Feel the warmth of relaxation wash over you. Breathe in the radiant light and pause. Feel your mind become open and unfettered. Breathe out and feel your soul become freed to soar to new heights. Breathe in the calm and pause. Feel yourself surrender. Breathe out everything and focus only on now. And feel your body, mind, and soul become whole and at peace. Now we are finally ready to graciously accept this present from our loving Creator, to embrace God's gift of rest and rejuvenation, to turn our complete attention toward Shabbat, to savor all that Shabbat provides, and become enveloped by holiness. As we breathe in and out once more, we pause and welcome in the Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharei, Malachei Ayon, Liv Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, בואכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. לה 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 Reb Nachman said that a human being reaches in three directions: inward to self, outward to people, and upward to God. The real secret, taught Nachman, is that the three are one. When we are connected to ourselves, we can reach out to others. When we reach out to others, we may come to know God. May this melody and this gathering help us to quiet our minds and open our hearts. May we feel and know the connection that exists between ourselves, our community, and our Creator. And we continue in the middle of page 2 with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. And we continue with the words of Lecha Dodi at the top of page 3. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Shabbat nikabela. Shahamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Yishmi anu echam yuchad, Adonai echad, Yishmo echad, Yishimu tiferet v'litchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi דברי, עבוד עיני אלייך נגלה. לכדוני לקראת כלה, הנה שבני קבלה. לכדותי לקראת כלה, הנה שבני קבלה. בואי לשלום העטרת בלה, גם משמחה ובצהלה, תוכם עיני סגולה, בואי חלה בואי חלה. לכדוני לקראת כלה, הנה שבני קבלה. לכדותי לקראת כלה, הנה שבני קבלה. Shabbat settles on Jerusalem like a dove gliding on silent wings. Shabbat settles in my heart, a lover with open arms, embracing my soul with song wrapped in quiet breathing. I send blessings into the world, light, bread, prayers of peace. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish at the top of page 4. Yitkadash me'irava, bi'almad yifrach rutei v'yamlich machutei, v'chai heichon u'yom heichon, uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael, bakala, bakala, uv'isman kariv, v'yimeru, amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach, le'alam u'lalmei hamaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitaydar, v'yitalei, v'yitalal, shmei dekutcha b'richu, Leila min kobrechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran miyama v'yimeru. Amen. And we rise for the Baruchu, our call to prayer. The middle of page 5. God of all creation, eternal source of hope, be with me when hope seems foolish. O creator of light, be with me when day grows dark. O God of life, be with me when life seems to have lost its meaning. In my darkness, be my source of light. In my loneliness, help me find a soul akin to my own. Give me strength to live with courage, and give me courage to draw blessing from life, even in the midst of suffering, to hold fast against the storm, to respond with love to a loved one's glance, to face each night with hope for the morrow. Teach me, my God, to pray and to recite blessings for the withered leaf, no less than for the splendor of the ripened fruit, for freedom to see, to feel, to breathe, to know, to hope, and to fail. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who brings on the evening. In the middle of page 6, our affirmation. I am a precious part of all that exists. There is no separation between God and myself. As I feel this connection, I know I am being filled with divine love and surrounded by infinite protection, perfection. I accept this healing energy as it flows unrestricted through my body, bringing strength, vitality, and rejuvenation to every cell. I feel this powerful energy cleansing and healing any unbalanced condition in my body. And on the middle of page 7, there lives a God. God's presence is the glow in the human heart. There lives a God. We meet God in the joys of human love. We see God in our vision of a better world when we choose life and blessing and turn from death and destruction. We hear God in the still, small voice of conscience. We sense God in our unending search for truth. There lives a God, and in love we unite with God as we call God one. Let us be seated and join together in the words of Ahavath. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam lehot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 9. When evil darkens our world, let us be the bearers of light. When fists are clenched in self-righteous rage, let our hands be open for the sake of peace. When injustice slams doors on the ill, the poor, the old, and the stranger, let us pry the door open. Where shelter is lacking, let us be the builders. Where food and clothing are needed, let us be the providers. Where knowledge is denied, let us be champions of learning. When dissent is stifled, let our voices speak truth to power. When the earth and its creatures are threatened, let us be their guardians. When bias, greed, and bigotry erode our country's values, let us proclaim liberty throughout the land. In the places where no one acts like a human being, let us bring courage, let us bring compassion, let us bring humanity. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilo oseh chelek. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilo who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai, who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai, Malchutecha ra'uf v'necha, bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zeh li'anu, anu ve'amru. Malchutecha ra'uf v'necha, bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zeh li'anu, anu ve'amru. Adonai Melech le'olam va'ed, who is like you? Adonai, who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai, who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai, who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. At the top of page 11, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. We promise our loved ones that we will do our best to protect and provide for them. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim, that they will be the center of our lives, that we will be there to support them, just as we know they are there to support us. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, that even as we seek the shelter we need in the present, we will continue to work toward a better future for us, for our children, and the world. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week we live under the tyranny of things of space. On Shabbat we try to become attuned to holiness in time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Chesed yamim Adonai, Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat letorot hamirit olam. V'yom hashvi Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat letorot hamirit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat letorot hamirit olam. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We rise together for tefillah as we turn to page 12. Adonai sefatai tiftachu v'yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Rekoneh Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Havot ve'imahot, Umiviku la livnei v'neihem leman shemo b'ahava. Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai mechayei hakol atah rav lehoshia morid hatal. Mechalkel chayim bechesed,
מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated as we continue together at the bottom of page 13. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu ve'amcha The middle of page 14, may it be your will, O our God, that we be allowed to stand in places of astonishing light and not in dark places. And may our hearts know no pain, and may our vision not be so clouded that we would not see all the blessings of life that you have given us. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Yatar Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'torein dercha levadei et Amcha Yisrael. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. We take a moment now for our own silent prayers. Middle of page 16. Olam Chesed Yivaneh. Olam Chesed Yivaneh. Yadalai, yadalai, yadalai. 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 I will build this world from love. Yadalai, yadalai, yadalai.
I will build this world from love. And you must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love.
When I was a little girl, I would watch Romper Room on TV and wait breathlessly at the end of the show when the teacher would lift her magic mirror and tell us who she saw. Would today be the day she said my name? Did she see me? Again and again, no Carrie. Maybe a Caroline, but that wasn't me. I felt disappointment. Yes, I remember that. But there's something else I remember as well. I recall picturing other children in my mind. They weren't in my family room, but I understood, even at age 3, that the other children existed, and like me, they were watching Romper Room in their own homes. This past Monday, I watched my 3rd grader participate in a video conference with his teacher and classmates. His teacher has figured out that trying to teach them on this platform is practically impossible. She's basically sending us materials to help teach the lessons that she has assigned for math, language arts, science, etc. And she's using their conference time instead as a time for them to connect socially. This week, she decided to have them participate in a scavenger hunt. Eli ran around the house looking for mundane household items, first a flashlight and then dental floss and lipstick, each time reporting back to the computer with his treasures. But what happened when the 20 kids got back to their computers at the same time was utter chaos. I watched my child get frustrated as he kept calling out, "Do you see me?" without getting acknowledged. Honestly, it made me cry. It wasn't the teacher's fault. She's trying to handle a difficult situation the best way she knows how. But it has become painfully obvious to me that this experience of isolation is going to have a lasting traumatic effect on all of us, regardless of age. Our children will not forget the year they didn't return to school. We depend so much on human interaction for our mental well-being. Just last year, the American Psychological Association published an article identifying the effects of social isolation and loneliness on physical, mental, and cognitive health. Of course, we all deal with loneliness from time to time. It often occurs during life transitions, like the death of a loved one, a divorce, or a move to a new place. This kind of loneliness is referred to as reactive loneliness. Problems arise, however, when an experience of loneliness becomes chronic. Dr. Ami Rokach at York University in Toronto says that if reactive loneliness is painful, chronic loneliness is torturous. Amazingly, the studies have shown that the magnitude of risk presented by social isolation is very similar to that of obesity, smoking, lack of access to care, and physical inactivity. Loneliness has been found to raise levels of stress, impede sleep, and in turn harm the body. And of course, it can also lead to anxiety and depression. Our Torah portion this week teaches us about the concept of quarantine for those who display contagious disease. Rabbi Goodman mentioned in his sermon last week how extraordinary it is that unlike other ancient peoples who cast out their afflicted from the community, our tradition, even in its infancy, had guidelines for not only how to quarantine the diseased, but also how to then welcome them back into society once they had fully recovered. It is so important for all of us to be reassured that while we are not in the camp together right now, the camp itself still exists, as does the community, that this acute situational loneliness is not our norm. I want so badly to have that magic mirror from Romper Room. I want to lift it up and say, I see Felice and Bernie and Jackie and David and Pat and Jean and Richard and Jack and Cheryl and Marlene and Sandy all the way in the back, and Susie and Mark, because if I don't mention my parents right now, they're going to be very disappointed. And Goldie and Marilyn and Anne and Bernard and Ruthie and Laura and on and on and on. And I want to actually see you. But the reality is that teacher on Romper Room didn't see me or any of those other children. She just knew they were there. Just like I know you're there. And that when we can, we'll be back together again. I want to share with you tonight a song from the musical Dear Evan Hansen. The play deals with social anxiety and depression in teens. One of the most powerful scenes is when Evan delivers these words, the song You Will Be Found. And teenagers from across the country come together online as they discover that they are not alone in their shared experience of loneliness, that they are, in essence, an entire community. I know this is hard, and that we are feeling done. And for those of you that are finding it particularly difficult, I want you to know that not only will you be found, but you were never lost.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear? Well, let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And know someone will come running, and I know they will take you home. Crashing through when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let that sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and rise again. Lift your hand and look around. There's a place where we don't have to feel unknown. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone. If you only say the word from across the silence, your voice is heard. And no, someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
We turn our thoughts now to those who are in need of healing. The bottom of page 17. We pray for family, friends, members of this congregation, and for everyone who is injured or ill in body or in spirit. Some of us pray for ourselves. Others pray for those who are dearest to us. Give strength and purpose, unflagging energy, and deep wells of patience to all who seek healing, and to their caregivers, family, and friends. O God, gracious parent, hear our prayer and make our lives a blessing. Our congregation is especially thinking of Carol Babcock, Malcolm Bloom, Richard Owen Butler, Basha Goldstein Cantor, Diane Cinzano, Shirley Cohen, Tom Davis, Art Fields, Paul Friedman, Judy Greenhut, Shirley Joseph, Susan Jacobs, Ben Jacobson, Judy Jacobson, Robert Kay, Marilyn Levitt, Neva Lerner, Bill Lewis, George Matthews, Barbara McDonald, Rosalind Miller, Laura Osofsky, James Penson, Buddy Pollock, Elisa Powell, Robert Powell, Randall Rout, Marlene Rebb, Sandra Resnikoff, Alex Rosen, Alan Setzer, Ruthie Silver, Bernie Sims, Ron Temko, Bob Tews, Bernice Tobis, Susan Warrington Wagman, Carla Weissman, Ed Whitland. We think of the over 2 million people affected by the coronavirus and those who are struggling to keep breathing, and our healthcare workers fighting to help them. And if you have names to add, please say them aloud now. We join together in the middle of page 18. Heal us now.
Rifayenu Adonai v'nerefei Hoshienu v'niva sheya El karov lechol korav ach karov l'reyav yisho. We pray for healing of the body. We pray for healing of the soul, for strength of flesh and mind and spirit. We pray to once again be whole.
Let us rise together for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לטון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא זרמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגוער עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Let us be seated. The bottom of page 20. Do we ever really say goodbye? Remembering is a gift. We treasure our wonderful memories. Our sad memories are softened by the passing seasons. We'll always remember those who were a part of us and share those memories with those who now share our lives. We honor and remember the ones we have loved who are no longer with us physically, but are here with us in spirit. We love them, we think of them, we remember them. There are tears in our remembering, but there are smiles as well. So we never really have to say goodbye to those we love, because they live in our hearts and minds forever. We give thanks, remembering is a gift. We give thanks, their lives were a blessing. We give thanks for what we had. We give thanks for what we have. With our Kaddish prayer, we thank you, God, for life and love. We mourn the recent losses of Barbara Palev, Rita Kurland, Marie Groom-Bresson. And this Shabbat, we observe the yahrzeit of Arthur Abramson, Kenneth Allen, Marie Alpern, Ida Lat Azroff, Joan Benjamin, Saul Burnell, Benedict Carlin, Gertrude Freundlich Carlin, Jacob Cohn, Herbert Datz, Eleanor Dorman, Fanny Feinberg, Josephine N. Fink, Minnie Fuchs, Rebecca Goodman, Florence Greenberg, Isidore Katz, Leo Capel, Stephen Paul Krantz, Bernard John Levy, Naomi Mendelson, Sidney Merritt, Blanche Mermelstein, Eugene Mesnick, Goldie Mesnick, Harold Meyerheim, Roger Mock, Chaya Novmeist, Sandra Rout, Bernard Rosenberg, Thelma Rosenberg, Anne Rubin, George Schwamm, Dr. Richard Spira, Annie Staring, Dolores Wolfe. We think as well of those who have lost their lives to the virus here and around the world. And if you're thinking of someone that you have lost, I welcome you to say their name aloud now. For all of our loved ones whom we've named aloud, those we hold in our hearts, we rise together as a community to extol God's name with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 21. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ba'amad ivrach urtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach v'alamul almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dukudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'amma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace on high make peace for all those who mourn, for Jerusalem and for all of those around the world, and let us say, Amen. Please be seated. Gather your wine. We'll make a little kiddush and motzi before we conclude our service this evening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho v'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uv'ratzon hinchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'teavon. We're going to conclude our service this evening with the words of Oseh Shalom, our prayer for peace. Oseh Shalom imruma, Yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, imru amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom. Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Thank you so much for joining this evening. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat full of peace and joy, and may this Shabbat bring you that peace of mind that we are all in this together. Shabbat Shalom.